In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the surprising connection between spiritual abuse and cancel culture. If you've been in a spiritually abusive environment before, you will notice that the leaders of such environments and even the people within the environment share certain characteristics. And in spiritually abusive environments, something that I have noticed is this sentiment that seems to be against cancel culture. And you might be wondering, well, what's wrong with that? And the issue is not that spiritually abusive leaders and people do not like cancel culture. The problem is why they don't like cancel culture and what it reveals about them. I was watching a video recently, and this person in this organization, I'm not going to say who it is, but if you look at my other videos, I did a live on this particular organization. So this person who is at the center of a lot of controversy was at a range. I don't trying to figure out like what word to say so YouTube doesn't censor this, but a range where they were holding a device that emits bullets. Okay. So hopefully YouTube won't censor that. But anyway, that person was there and they said, cancel culture. That's what they said before doing what they did. So I'm not saying that this person is spiritually abusive, right? I can't may say, that they are or they aren't. But my point is that I've heard that sentiment in a lot of spiritually abusive and controlling environments. Get rid of cancel culture. I hate cancel culture. And so ask yourself, what is this resistance, vehement resistance in some cases, to cancel culture? And people who are spiritually abusive feel very entitled. They believe that they own you and you have to do what they want. And so cancel culture involves people saying, I don't like this organization, I don't like this person, and encouraging other people to not partake. You have to understand that anybody can do what they want, right? Regardless of how you feel about cancel culture. And I know that there are lots of feelings, and I'm not going to get into cancel culture itself. When you see somebody that's so against that, that should raise a red flag for you. If somebody, if people are going to decide to cancel an organization or a person, that's their choice to do so, right? People who are spiritually abusive believe that they're entitled to your feelings and your unconditional support. And so cancel culture scares them because that means they could be canceled, they could be exposed. A similar sentiment is people saying, don't watch those discernment channels or don't watch these, people who expose other people and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I do want to say that when somebody gets very upset that somebody has the right to cancel somebody else, and first of all, I don't even think that works. Anytime we look at people that were so-called canceled, in some cases, it actually like increased their social media following or their, or just their popularity. So, think about all the recent or latest social media controversies and who was behind it, and they're still there, ticking and thriving, and and bringing in whatever finances that are associated with their product. And so, but regardless of the effect that cancel culture has on the so-called canceled person, be very careful when you keep hearing this sentiment about cancel culture. Oh, we can't have cancel culture. This is bad and whatnot, and people can't do that. Sometimes even when people go on these rants about cancel culture and say they don't like it, they probably can't really even accurately describe it to you. And what I believe is behind that message is it scares us that the people who are part of the masses now have power. Spiritually abusive people work very hard to maintain an illusion of perfection. And they also expend a lot of energy in controlling the people around them. And they want to control everything. They want to control, what you say, what you do, and even how you feel. That's why sometimes you will hear people getting very upset with people in their spiritual environment for a type of emotion that they have. But back to the point at hand, that is cancel culture. And so when you hear somebody say, oh, I hate, especially spiritual leaders say, oh, cancel culture is the worst, and just keep going on and on about it, ask yourself, does this raise a red flag for you? What does this person seem to have a problem with the fact that people can do what they want? People can leave a spiritual organization, people can come back, people can express their frustrations or dislike of a spiritual organization. They may not come out and tell you this directly, but you will hear it in the types of messages that they give and also how they react to people who disagree with them and who leave that environment. Many people will talk about how when they left a spiritually abusive environment, they were talked about, lies and rumors were spread about them, and the message and the narrative around their leaving was negative and made them look very bad. And so, when you hear this rhetoric about cancel culture, ask yourself the questions that I just talked about and realize, and I also want you to ask yourself too, when people are going on these, rants and tirades about cancel culture, what do you think it reveals about them? First, with some people, the things that they're very much against also can reflect their values, right? People can be for certain things that shows their values, but people can also be against certain things. And when people have serious objections to people exercising their own free will and autonomy, that is a red flag to you that that person is very controlling. Um, so I would like to hear from you all about what you think about this correlation between spiritual abuse and cancel culture, regardless of how you feel about cancel culture. Do you think that when somebody is clearly against something like that, that it reveals something about them, or do you feel differently? I'd really love to hear from you all in the comment section about that. If you want to book a free consultation, you go to my website, which is skillsetcounseling.com, and then you just go ahead and click on the orange button. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful day that is filled with peace. Bye-bye.